Hey, hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. So if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so I know you were here. I'm Lynn Huber, and I appreciate you being here today. So today I'm going to talk about turn a bad day into a glorious one by the words you choose. I don't know if it's this coronavirus or what, but I'm like getting weird. I mean, I'm getting into unicorns and I'm getting into fancy words like glorious. That's my word of the day today. I love that word. But anyway, let's move on, okay? So picture this. So you're running late for work. It's a rainy day. You slip and you fall in the mud. And then if that's not enough, you helplessly watch your phone slip out of your pocket to fall, boom, face down on the ground, and the screen shatters. I mean, it's not a new phone, but it's the only one you have, right? And you have a presentation to do first thing when you get to work. So you have less than a minute to decide what your next step is going to be. Does this sound like the beginning of a bad day to you? It seriously could be, right? Because now you're flooded with all sorts of negative emotions. You're frustrated. You've got anger, tension, stress, anxiety, all of that. It's just all building up in your head, right? It's this is one of those days, or you're thinking, this is one of those days. How will I explain my coming in late again? You mumble, right? I mean, cursing out loud, you rush back to the house, you get a change of clothes, and in the process, maybe you snap at your child or your partner. If you hadn't delayed me earlier, all of this wouldn't be happening. And you're tense. You're like very tense. Even when you walk into the boardroom to give your talk, you can feel the judgment from your colleagues and your supervisors. And guess what? The delivery of your presentation is terrible. In fact, it's so terrible, your boss gives you a written warning for sloppy work and for being late. Wow, crazy, huh? Do you think there might be a possibility that that could have been the beginning of an awesome day instead? What if instead you slip and you fall in the mud, and then as soon as you stood up, your good sense of humor had you chuckling a bit and thinking, well, what a perfect time for all this to happen, right? And as you go back inside to have a change of clothes, maybe you're joking with your kid, hey, look at the mud just turned me into a clown. So you and your partner had a light moment as you hurriedly explained what happened and concluded with, well, I'm off to work. I have an excellent presentation to give. I'm not letting this stop me, right? And so with you're cheerful, you got to work, and so you're up there in front of the room, and you excuse yourself for being late, and then you go on to recount the experience you had as your opening joke to your presentation. Everybody, of course, can relate. It went well. There was great applause at the end. And even later, your boss called you in to congratulate you. See, it could be really different depending on how you choose to respond, right? So, unexpected inconveniences happen to the best of us, but it's our response to them that separates us. What one perceives as a terrible occurrence might be to another a marvelous opportunity to just use it to their advantage. Whether we label that day good or bad, it's up here, it's in our mind, right? I mean, it's a decision we make about each occurrence, whether it's good or bad, right? It's also in the mind where we decide to turn it around in case we had already declared it bad. Your mind has a voice of its own, which we sometimes express out loud. And therefore, it's the level where your mind is, where you use your words to turn bad days, weeks, months, or even years, you can change them into glorious ones, right? It's the same as the seasons of our lives. One person gets fired from work and thinks, oh my God, I'm doomed. This is the worst catastrophe for me. And to make things worse, I have debts to pay. And this is the wrong time of year to be looking for another job. There's this crazy coronavirus out there. What am I going to do? Right? Another person takes a moment to lament the situation. Of course, they're not happy about it. Of course, they have bills to pay. And of course, the coronavirus is still going on, right? But then they quickly kind of turn it around and they start to say, well, I just bumped into an opportunity to explore my interests further. My job was a good thing for sure. I mean, I need my job, but it is possible that maybe that job was holding me back from the bigger picture of what my big dreams are in my life. what I want my life to be, right? So now is the time that I can revive those dreams because the universe kind of provided that to me. I don't have any choice. I lost my job. That sucks. But wow, what can I do now? I can maybe do some amazing things, right? So maybe another thing this experience has taught me is not to place my hopes on temporary things. So, it's all the difference. It's all how you look at it, right? So we all have heard that expression, every cloud has a silver lining, right? I mean, you've heard that a million times, right? But it's true. It is, it's true. And then it's our job to seek and find the positive aspect of any situation. Use your imagination in a bad situation to find the good in it. Look for ways of how you can capitalize on it and have a different end result. Maybe a glorious situation, right? So if you change how you look at things and you look for the good, your mind will comply. Your mind it'll get to work and it'll give you reasons to celebrate and it will get into serious work finding you those reasons because your mind is like a slave to its owner. It always seeks to manifest whatever it is that you're focusing on, right? If you're looking for the positive, your mind will come up with solutions. If you're looking for the negative, your mind is going to comply by leading you through a series of emotions and some pretty wild mood swings. It's all what you're telling your mind, right? And so it begins with a day. Master how to forcefully have a happy, progressive, and fruitful day to day, despite any situation that you might run into that might be less than desirable, right? And then let your days feed into equally positive weeks. It won't be long before you can describe your life as wonderful. And then when someone asks you the simple question, how are you doing? Now it becomes an opportunity to excitedly talk about all the goodness in your life. It begins with just one day, one situation. Win them over and they come. Win them over as they come and enjoy abundant life. It will come. And one day at a time, one situation at a time. So, hey, now I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced what I'm talking about? I mean, does this ring true to you? Have you ever had times in your life when your day started out bad and it either got worse or it got dramatically better based on how you handled it? Please share your thoughts and your experiences in the comments below. Get down in there and share them. I would love to hear your stories. Anyway, thank you for being here with me today. And anyone who might be watching the replay, thank you. I appreciate you. So go out there and have an amazing day, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.